Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 935. Directed by Kenichi Takashita from Yutaka Nakashima's board, and supervised by Kenji Yokoyama. Since his past few episodes have been some of the most fun ones in the entire arc, Nakashima's board should be able to pepper this half-dialogue and half-action board with enough of the visual flair that we've come to expect from him that'll make it all the more enjoyable. Director Kenichi Takashita may have not been involved with One Piece at all before this, but his episodes on other series like the recent Gegege no Kitaro iteration have been solid according to the fans of them. So he should do a solid enough job bringing it to life, especially when he's aided by Chu Young-seo on the action side of things with his smooth and kinetic action that houses some powerful poses, and Kenji Yokoyama's pleasant looking corrections that follow the current look of the series, while still having feature placement that's reminiscent of the East Blue days. So will episode 935 unmask one character's true identity flawlessly? Time to get back into the ring to find out. This episode covers the last 4 pages of chapter 938 and pages 7 through 13 of chapter 939, meaning that there was a slight rearrangement of content with more being added to the Alpaca Man and Medilla Man fight, so it takes place both before we see Law's crew and Zoro, but it still manages to flow quite a bit better than the original manga due to this. We get to spend more time within the fight seeing both the intro of the Gifters duo, and a lot more messing around and techniques on both sides of it, which really ups the fun factor on it and makes it the most enjoyable Udon clash so far. And it doesn't manage to detract from the conversations with Zoro, Hiyori, and Toko one bit, allowing time for the dialogue to sound both smooth and natural rather than padded out with a bit of music and longer flashbacks, which is exactly what I expect from Nakashima's pacing control. It all just feels very classic One Piece and doesn't disappoint or take away anything from the original manga chapter, pretty much mirroring the quality of episode 931 from just a few weeks ago, with direction from Takashita that feels just like the main man behind the storyboard, which itself also thankfully manages to strike out quality-wise. While it may not have as many key moments that can be made extra pretty due to the source material, Nakashima's board here is once again full of eye candy on every level. Whether it be the sweeping shots of the sumo ring that emit a powerful sense of scale, or the satisfying comedic bits that are quite small but make a big impact with on-screen cues and distortion of the environment, Nakashima once again brings home the amount of visual flair that I expect from Wano's storyboards, making an episode that primarily features a location that we've seen many times before fun to look at. It may not be at the top of the food chain like the past 2 boards coming from 2 of our series directors, but it's once again chock full of that classic One Piece charm despite that, and shows that no matter the type of episode, you can still produce a storyboard that leaves a lasting impression on the viewer visually. When our supervisor Kenji Yokoyama isn't polishing the episode up with his expressive corrections that take a little bit from both the past and present, along with animating a fair bit of the Udon fight himself in the first half, it's Chu Young-seo that really shows off here in the second half, animating a small bit of action that may not be on the same level as some of the sumo brawling we've seen him do before, but it's still absurdly well done and adds a nice lively bit of fun to what is by no stretch the most important part of this fight, making it so even Luffy's little run around the arena feels packed to the brim with as much character that is needed. But of course the Sakuga extends past the episode itself this week, as after a year and some change of over the top, we now have a brand new opening directed by co-series director Aya Komaki, and featuring the song Dreamin' On from Da Ice and lots of absurdly strong animation on top of it all. I unfortunately won't be covering it here today since there's quite a good bit to analyze, due to it housing an incredibly stacked staff list of animators from both Toei and industry-wide, so I'll be doing another video very soon that covers many aspects of it, and it definitely won't take nearly as long this time to actually upload. I promise you that. But going back to the video topic at hand, 935 was all in all everything that I expected it to be, and that is nothing but a good thing. For a follow-up to the past 2 weeks of crazy well done episodes, it holds its own in several different ways and delivers a relaxing but fun entry in Act 2 that acts as the calm before the next storm. And I mean storm in quite a few ways, as next week we're greeted to episode 936 from former assistant director Tasuku Shimaya and Shigefumi Shingaki. While the solo storyboard and directorial debut from Shimaya is worth hyping up this episode for, especially since he seems to be flexing a lot of different techniques that he's learned from Komaki, but Shingaki's overall supervision has been quite poor ever since we've entered Wano, despite the odd good looking correction here and there for the more pivotal moments. I do definitely want to look forward to this episode because all things considered it looks fairly promising on a lot of ends, and features the reveal of a major plot development for the arc and series as a whole, but I think I'll remain cautiously optimistic in case it puts a downer on this recent string of episodes. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and I still can't get over Gene Wilder Luffy.